Thank you, Madam President, for holding this meeting. I would also like to thank the Deputy Special Coordinator for the Middle East peace process for his valuable briefing. Madam President, since its formation, the Lebanese government has worked on extending the authority of the state. It has deployed the Lebanese army all along its territory and in UNIFIL's area of operation in the south. Lebanon remains determined to cooperate closely with UNIFIL and to guarantee the safety and security of its personnel and to facilitate its orderly and regular withdrawal. At the same time, Lebanon reaffirms the importance of having a new international mechanism in the south to replace UNIFIL. It is now well known that the Lebanese army has indeed deployed over 85% of the area in the south. What is preventing its full deployment is the Israeli occupation of some areas under weak pretenses, only meant to undermine the credibility of the Lebanese government towards its people and undermine its tireless efforts to replace Lebanon on the path of stability at all levels. Allow me to strongly denounce the repeated Israeli attacks against civilians and civilian infrastructure in Lebanon and against UNIFIL. These attacks have been ongoing since November 27 of last year. They've even become more frequent and brutal during the past period. Although Lebanon remains fully committed to the cessation of hostilities, therefore, we renew our call on this August Council and the United States and France as the guarantors of the cessation of hostilities to honor their obligations and responsibilities in this regard. Madam President, despite the severity of Israeli attacks, Lebanon has responded positively to the American mediation to reach a sustainable stability and a comprehensive political solution based on dialogue and negotiations, and not through military and bloody messages to bring pressure to bear on Lebanon. The form and dimensions of this dialogue will be determined by the Lebanese government in due time, and it will depend on the cessation of attacks and the withdrawal from occupied territory and the release of detainees. Madam President, we recall that this government has decided that the state will have monopoly over weapons and has started to implement this decision pursuant to the Ta'if Accord and relevant international resolutions. This decision is irreversible. The Army has started tireless efforts in this regard. It is highly important to provide the necessary support to the Army and Armed Forces so that they can carry out these tasks all over the territory and in Palestinian camps, and to control and monitor borders with Syria, which is positively engaging with Lebanon, and this will surely strengthen the relationship between the two countries on the basis of mutual respect, the non-interference in international affairs, bilateral cooperation, and this will contribute to achieving stability in both countries. Madam President, social stability is an integral part of security stability. One sustains the other. Therefore, we do hope that friendly countries will accompany the efforts of the Lebanese government and support its reconstruction efforts and strengthen the pillars of stability. We would like to thank all countries that stood beside Lebanon. We especially thank the French President for his tireless efforts to hold 2 conferences to support the security institutions and the reconstruction efforts before the end of this year. We also look forward to the visit of His Holiness the Pope Leo XIV to Lebanon towards the end of next month in his first international visit as a message of peace and hope. Madam President, Lebanon welcomes the recognition of the State of Palestine by a large number of countries. Without a doubt, this is a brave step that should be commended. It will surely contribute to making progress in achieving the two-state solution that is long awaited. We do hope that this will be an opportunity to review positions and to work towards a just and comprehensive peace. We also value the mediation efforts to guarantee a first-phase agreement between Hamas and Israel. We do hope that this agreement will be a step forward towards ending the humanitarian suffering of the Palestinian people. In conclusion, the international community must continue to bring pressure to bear on Israel to respond to the calls to end its aggressive policy in Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria, and provide a positive environment to work on reaching a just and comprehensive peace that achieves stability in the Middle East. I thank you.